Hello and welcome to Michael's Minty Music for today. Today we review AC/DC's second album, T.N.T, which was released in Australia at the end of 1975. It's really good. Most of it was released internationally as High Voltage in 1976, the next year. This is the track listing, and these are the tracks I added to my playlist, 7 out of 9, all of them but 2. This album is really good, although the sort of arrangement of tracks isn't as good as it probably could be. The opening track, It's a Long Way to the Top, is a pretty good opener, but side one kind of comes to a grinding halt halfway through with the jack. It's a good song individually, but I would have really put it later on in the album, or at least at the end of side one to lead into side two. Instead, it comes right after the sort of meh rock and roll singer, and it makes it so that Live Wire, the next track, has to try and bring the energy back up, which it's not really able to do. Side 2, by contrast, is a lot better. Starts off with T.N.T, which is a banger, leading into a couple of high-energy tracks, Rocker, Can I Sit Next to You, Girl. High Voltage slows it down a little bit without closing it off before School Days ends the album really well with a Chuck Berry cover. Fortunately, the quality of tracks on side 1 is still pretty high individually, despite this sort of screwed up arrangement, and side 2 is really well done and helps bring the album up a lot. Interestingly, the entire first side of the album was kept as is for the 1976 international release, while the second side ended up dropping School Days and added in 2 tracks from their debut album before ending with High Voltage. So it goes T.N.T, Rocker, Can I Sit Next to You, Girl, the 2 tracks from High Voltage, their debut, and then ends it with High Voltage, which is fine. I think the original is better. I can definitely appreciate ending the album called High Voltage with the track High Voltage, which is something that didn't happen in their debut, which is kind of lame. But overall, it's still pretty good. The style here is all kind of classic rock, some blues influences. Not a lot of variety. It doesn't hurt the album too much, although it does mean it kind of compares unfavorably to other rock albums releasing at the same time. Still, AC/DC knows their lane, and they're quite good at it, so I can't really complain. There's only one single released before the album, which was that track High Voltage, which is pretty good. Big hit here was definitely the title track, T.N.T, probably the only one you might have heard. It's also definitely my favorite track here, probably the best track. It really stands out above the rest as an incredibly good song, and the rest of them are pretty decent as they are. You might have heard It's a Long Way to the Top. That one's also relatively well known. I definitely rank this album over their debut, High Voltage from 1975, not the international release from 1976. The overall quality is definitely higher on this one, and I think the track listing is a bit better. For sure on side 2, not too sure about side 1. Additionally, the presence of a major hit in T.N.T greatly increases the overall quality of the album. However, T.N.T does not take my top spot from 1975 that stays with Pink Floyd's Wish You Were Here, which is definitely better than T.N.T, as it has basically 3 major hits on it and is significantly better when it comes to the flow and track listing. Not really a contest here. T.N.T gives more of a fight than High Voltage, but I think Pink Floyd still kind of has a solid lock on this year. Thank you for watching. And next up, we'll be taking a quick detour from AC/DC to listen to a brand newly released album from a niche indie artist I follow, Liberation by Reaper, who's also known as JJ Chef. That's the guy behind it. I figured this guy might drop something soon, but I wasn't following closely enough to prep for this release. He's been releasing EPs for a year or so now, and I definitely want to give this album a listen, and his other stuff has been quite good so far, so hope he does well in the industry. So stay tuned for that, and as always, stay minty.